You can also mute notes with your right hand, the hand that actually plucks the string. And this is a little bit different, but it really works basically the same way as muting notes with your left hand. You're just doing it down here. So if I'm playing the A string, say for example, I want to be able to control the length of those notes. So I can rest my plucking fingers back down on the string to mute it. Notice how it's cutting off at a certain time. Now, if you can see, I'm using 2 fingers a lot of the time, or even 3, to get the note to mute quickly. Because if I use just 1, I might leave a little ringing sound, like that. But if I use multiple fingers, the chances are better that you can really mute the note completely. Again, for more clean bass note. Now, if I move down to the E string, it's the same process. But here's what I want you to notice, and this is what escapes most people early on. When I switch from playing the E string to go to the A string, I move my thumb up to the E string to rest it there. What that does is effectively mute the E string. Because if I just leave the E string open and I start playing the A string, you can hear the E strings ringing freely. It's not a very clean bass sound. So I need to have my thumb or something on the E string to keep it dead. That makes for a clean bass note. And as I move up to the D string, I sort of very secretly rest my 3rd finger, my ring finger, on the A string. Now I still have my 2 playing fingers free. And the A string doesn't ring and the E string doesn't ring. I'm holding them from ringing. If I just leave it open, it's sloppy. And if I'm alternating fingers trying to play multiple notes, each time my finger plucks the string, it goes immediately to rest. Or if I'm plucking the D string, my finger immediately rests on the A string to mute it and keeps it muted. That way, as I'm plucking the D string, it's clean. Same with the A string. My thumb is resting on the pickup. I'm plucking the A string, but my fingers are plucking through the A string and landing on the E string, keeping it muted. So this is how you mute the notes with your right hand. Now really, when you're playing throughout the course of a song, you're going to use both hands to mute the strings on the bass to keep your bass line clean and to keep it from getting muddy and ringing. If, for example, I play a bass line without muting any notes, it might sound like this. Now you can hear all the extra notes ringing. I'm not using any muting technique. Now when I use both hands to mute the strings, then I can keep the bass line clean. But it's a function of keeping fingers on the strings that are not being played and keeping them from ringing inadvertently.